Alright, back on the Phoenix. I've got flags on all the studs here. I got them all, I was putting them on to see if they moved while I was beating on them to get them loose, but they're all loose now. So the flags are there now. I'm going to label them so that I know how to put them back in what I'm going to label them in order of this diagram. It's in the shop manual and all the other manuals. It's called the tightening sequence diagram there. So I'm going to order them and label them in that order, for lack of a better organization process. Like I've got just a piece of cardboard. You can just see the edge of it here with the valve cover stud sticking through the gasket or screws. Everything else is just in egg crates, labeled. I've shown you those before. These are pretty long, so I couldn't figure out a real good way of sticking them through something that made sense. So there's a chart with them all labeled in order. So we're gonna just number them by that, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna do that now, but I'm not gonna make you watch it. I should add that I don't know if it matters if these go back where they were. I'm assuming it does. That's why I'm doing this. They all came out good, so I don't have to replace any of them necessarily. That one is a little sketchy, but I'm going to see if I can clean that up a little more at some point. And yeah, I don't know if I'm wasting my time doing this or not, but we're going to do it. And so far I've been just cut the top off of an oil bottle, and they're just going to sit in there. And we'll see what happens. My next thought was to chase all these threads, but I'm concerned that my ability to hold a tap straight might not match the machining precision of the Japanese in the 70s. So it's just a tap. I'm not going to hurt it. I'd rather the threads be clean so that they'll take torque correctly, but I don't know if there's any wisdom around that or not. I imagine if somebody cleans an engine and sandblasts it, they chase everything out. So it's just something that I can do. Again, me trying to find things that I can do to delay me from doing things that to help me delay doing things that I've never done before, like turning this thing over and actually splitting the cases, which is what I have to do next. I've never done that before, and it's where I'm going to find the actual issues. Unless I'm not sure if I should consider that all of this came apart without much effort. I don't know if I should consider that to be an issue. Shouldn't it have, been more difficult to disassemble? I don't know. Never done it before. So, lucky number 7. Alright, so that is 16 bolts labeled. There's a little bit of oil in the bottom of that quart still, so I'm going to be careful not to spill it. There we go. Oh, that was a bad idea, probably. Alright, well, I'm going to take this off. Oil pressure switch, I think. Yeah. And then look in the book. So, we'll be back. I guess I could show you me doing this with the very wrong tool. It's the wrong tool for this, but I'll get it out. Hopefully. Yep. There she comes. Oh, but you're beating it all up. Okay. It's not a show bike. And this is easier than walking up and finding the right socket, which I probably don't even have actually. I promise I'll use the right socket when I put it back in. How about that? Before we get that all the way out, let's just scare some of that dirt off of there. This bike has been ridden for, the 20 years I've had it on the road, and never really cleaned very well, which comes as a shock to no one who knows me. And there you go. That's what happens when you buy a classic bike in your 20s and you don't know how to do things. It was probably clean when I got it, if I'm honest, and I probably, like everything else, just slowly made it worse. Well, here I am now. We're gonna make it better. So that's an original Nippon Denso. It's got the Nippon Denso stamp in it anyway, I think. And I just put a bunch of plier marks on it, which doesn't matter to me because, again, this is not a show bike. This is a runner. And I don't really care if there's wrench marks all over here. Look. Bit it all up. And then there's Nippon Denso there, I think. Alright. Be right back. Alright, slight reposition of things. Following Hound Dog's book, and the next thing after removing the pistons, he doesn't talk about removing the studs, but I wanted them out for my own sanity. The next thing he talks about is removing the countershaft bearing retainer. So to do that, it's that screw, that screw, that screw, and there's another one behind here. So I haven't dug into the other books yet to see about this, but this will come off without too much effort. So I'm gonna take that off. Both sides of this spring right on that, right there. So that's not too complex. That's the shifter. That's what does the shifting. So we're gonna not lose track of that. Set it over here. Now we're gonna aim for these 4 screws. We're gonna try to not ruin everything when we do this. So I guess we're gonna just start right in with the impact driver, if I can find where I put the thing down, because I don't have a normal number 3 Phillips anywhere to try and do it with that. So we're gonna go right into beating on it. Alright, pardon the jump cut and the weird angle, but we're gonna go for it here. That one's turning. That one's turning. That one's turning. That one's not. All right. There it goes. I think I didn't let the tool reset. Well, that was pretty easy. Let's see. Alright. I'm going to make a fake screwdriver here out of my socket and an extension. The Hound Dog says remove the countershaft bearing retainer, or at least pull it out far enough to free the main shaft. Okay. Without any further explanation of what that means. I'm going to probably just remove it all together because that's what we're going to do. We'll see what happens. It should just be a cover. It seems like it's kind of behind all of this. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of why I'm taking this thing apart to begin with. That's the shifting and the clunking in the transmission, I'm assuming. So, let's see what we find behind this thing. Yeah, that's going to be right in the way. Can I move you out of the way? Let's see, shifter. Maybe not. Alright, well, that comes off that much. He made very sure to put a picture of, there's an O-ring under here. He says don't lose it because every kit, what does he say? Those O-ring does not come in any of the gasket kits I have ever seen, so don't lose this O-ring. So there's an O-ring down there. I'm going to take my own word for it. Can I move any of this out of the way? That goes there. If I want to take all this apart, that is drifted into that, so I'm not taking that apart. Get that to there. Get that to there. The goal being what? Just enough to allow case separation. I don't know what that means. What was limiting the case separation? Why did moving that out a 1/4 of an inch change it? Inquiring minds want to know. Looks like it goes into this, well, maybe that's it. There's just enough room, if I can show you this, without ruining. Turn the light on. Nope, not available. Let's do this, let's do that. So there's just enough room in there, the end of that thing, inside of that bearing. Maybe that's what he meant. All of this mechanism here is getting in the way of taking that last screw out and this whole thing right out. So, I don't know that I really want to be worried about it, because I'm definitely not taking all of this apart, stacking it up, rewinding all those springs, and like I said, this is peened in there. I don't know what you call that, because it drifted earlier, so I don't know. Alright, well, here we sit. In other news, I'm going to take this opportunity to just grab these parts out of here, including the washer that's behind them. Pull that shaft out. Gear set comes out, and the washer falls in the pool of oil that I have down here, of course. Perfect. That's what we wanted. while I got this side of the engine facing me, I'm going to do those things. I'm going to put those along with the shift arm into a egg crate. Take a look at the shift arm real quick. Doesn't look bent, does it? No, it looks pretty straight. It's got the little step there where it's supposed to focus. Yeah, junk. Little step there, but other than that, it's pretty straight. So we're gonna stop here for now. I'd posted on the Honda Chopper board asking what I should do about this guy, because I could probably just beat that out of there, but if there's a better way, they'll know about it. And in the meantime, I think I'm just going to take some time to clean up some stuff because everything's still dirty and greasy, and it's going to have to be cleaned eventually. So I won't bore you with that, and we will be back later.